What's up, everybody?
All right, let's go ahead and get started. Ben, you're up.
Hey, Mick.
Hey, Ben.
Jalen says 8 seconds or less. Is that your new motto this year?
I've never used that saying. They must have, these guys watch a lot of basketball. Try to get we are definitely trying to, with our depth, with the guys, all the guys returning and Kenny off red shirt, Johnny being able to try to push the pace more. Tiger being a year older, his conditioning being much better. And really pretty much with Chris and Jaime, we play with 4 guards all the time. So you have 4 guys that can handle and pass. So definitely trying to get some easier shots and pick up our pace of play a little bit.
How's that been going in practice? I know you really closely monitor turnovers. How have they been handling that?
Well, our defense has been awful. So that's the problem. I go home feeling terrible about one thing. But I think I'd rather go home feeling terrible about our defense during practice, because that means you got a few guys that can actually score. Because when you go home thinking, how are we going to score a basket this year? It's hard to make adjustments. That's more of a talent thing. Going home figuring we got to get better defensively because, we shoot the ball pretty well and we got some veterans that know how to play together. You can adjust like we did last year and find a way to get adequate defensively. But yeah, I go home feeling bad about something either way. So we've been pretty good with our turnovers, knock on wood. Guys get a little bit older. They tend to make the easier play. And, we only have one freshman in Jalen Clark, and he's smart. One thing about Jalen Clark, he's a rare freshman. Usually freshmen try to do too much because they got away with it in high school. He doesn't play that way. He only does things that he can do, and he focuses on his hustle. So he's a rare freshman when it comes to that.
Tracy, go ahead.
Hey, Coach.
Hey, Trace, what's up, man?
Hey, so how does that change a little bit of your defense if you're trying to shoot a little bit quicker and get up in transition? How does that change your defense and what you do? I mean, you obviously got to get back quicker too. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it, but take us through a little bit how that might change defensively for you.
Yeah, I would say, that's where it's dangerous. You start asking the player strategy. We don't say shoot it quicker. We're trying to, I think we just, in basketball, you watch the NBA playoffs and they force that coach into that horrible interview after each quarter. They all say the same thing. We got to get stops so we can get out and run so we can get some easy baskets. So it's not shooting it quicker. It's getting easier baskets, which if you can score in transition, you're scoring with you're 3-on-2, 2-on-1, 4-on-3, or even 3-on-3 is a lot easier than walking it up 5-on-5 against a scouting report defense in a college game where you've had 3-4 days of prep time and they're sitting all over everything you try to run. It's going to be it's just a lot easier to score on the run than it is in the half court. But to really answer your question, Trace, you got to get stops. Can't run without the ball. My dad used to say that all the time. Cannot run without the ball. And you can try to run after made baskets, but you're going to get 1 or 2 of those a game. You got to get stops to run, and you got to get the rebound to run. So it does start with your defense. That's that's the biggest thing with us to understand. Okay, you guys don't want to walk it up, then we got to get stops so we can get out and push the pace. And but if we get scored on, they're going to get back, and we're going to have to walk it up, and it becomes a grind session.
So it's a way for you to bribe them into playing better defense.
That's right. That's right. You guys don't want me to call plays, get a stop and take off. Push the ball, share the ball, space the floor.
Mike Regalado, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, aside from adapting a faster offense, how is the defense's evolution from, let's say the end of last season when things were picking up? Overall, what are you seeing from the team and especially from the new guys, Johnny Juzang and Jalen Clark?
Well, Jalen Clark's going to be an elite defensive player in his career. There's not a day that goes by, not one day, where he don't steal an entry pass and go down and dunk it or lay it in. You think our guys would adjust to the fact that he's so good at that. But that's just because he combines the mentality of a defender with the athleticism and the size. But just from a team standpoint, we don't have elite speed to be an all-out pressing team. We got to play smart. We have some guys that are challenged with their on-the-ball defense, so we're going to have to play great team defense. I think that's going to be it took us a while to get 5 guys on the same page. I just think playing defense, in my opinion, you don't have to have lockdown defenders everywhere. You just got to play as a team and play smart and understand what you're trying to accomplish. So I believe that, a lot of that is coaching. It's just making sure your plan is clear. You're not asking Jake Kyman to pressure the ball. That would be bad coaching. So we got a lot of guys that need to stay between their man and the basket, make people score over us, adhere to what we're trying to accomplish defensively. We're a scouting report specific team in the way we play our half-court defense and what we're trying to take away from our opponents, depending on analytics and who we're playing against. So, if we don't defend well, that's going to be on the coaching staff. Coach Savino first. Let's blame him first.
Dennis Freeman, go ahead.
Coach, when it comes to chemistry on the defensive end, is that more of coaching or more of the players having a good feel for one another?
Well, I think the coaching part is that you got to make sure they understand what we're trying to accomplish, and they've been trained on how to accomplish it. Now, your rate of how soon you're going to play well defensively together is going to depend on. That's going to be up to the players and their attitude about winning. No teams win that don't defend. I don't give a it's pitching and defense in baseball, football, defending and not giving up big plays. Basketball, you cannot be easily scored upon. However, you have to accomplish it. So it would start with your offense. You can't turn the ball over for layups. And then it's got to be hard to score against you. You got to be able to take things away from some teams. But if you're easily scored upon, you have absolutely no chance. And then to get really good, to finish my answer out, you've got to be able to finish possessions and get a stop late in the clock and get a rebound. Because when you don't finish possessions, it can really break your spirit as a team. Give up a layup late or a wide open 3 late. It can really break your spirit. And it took us a while to stop doing that last year. A lot of people on here that followed us last year have flashbacks to that happening in certain games against us in December, where we played good defense for a long time, but we couldn't finish the possession. So that goes to, my job is building up our level of toughness as well. But there's got to be buy-in. Teams that want to win, they want to get stops. Teams that don't care whether they win or lose, the stops don't matter to those teams.
Beth Harris.
Hey, Mick, how you doing?
What's up, Beth?
So we're a week out from the start of the season. The virus is rampaging in areas.
I'm knocking on wood, Beth. I'm knocking on wood.
Yeah. There's still some schools that haven't released their schedules. I mean, what's kind of your level of confidence and or anxiety that things will get underway and get off to any kind of smooth start?
We'll never ask a coach about his anxiety level. You already know the answer to that. And I'm teasing, but I don't understand teams don't have their schedule done. People say, well, why are you playing at San Diego State? Look, Orlando fell apart. We need we lose games with Seton Hall and Kansas. Pepperdine's supposed to be really good, got a great guard back. San Diego State's 30-2 last year. Let's all get together and play, and let's play the place where we think we get the best chance of not getting the event shut down. You know, I just don't think this year is the time to be petty about trying to manipulate your schedule on who's eligible and where the game is and who can you beat. We just need to get the games for the kids. You know, if you're good enough, you'll win enough and you'll make the tournament. You know, being a high seed in the West is apparently not going to matter since there'll be no West, from what I hear, right? So I just, you know, for me, it was, hey, let's figure out who wants to play, who we can get, make sure these teams that don't have to fly. You know, we got some, you know, some friends of mine say, you know, we're just going to play San Diego. You know, Bill McGillis, a great AD, is a friend of mine. You know, why don't we just play San Diego? They're down the street. You know, we can get the game. It's going to happen. It's got a better chance of happening. So I think it's great that we're starting on when we're starting, because if there are shutdowns, Beth, it gives you time for makeups. It gives you time to make adjustments. I just think it all needs to be about the kids this year. I mean, you know, Chris Smith, this is his senior year, and he's a great kid. And, you know, he came back to UCLA to end his career on a high note, be a first-round pick. But, you know, obviously he's not going to have student sections cheering his name. So I think we just got to keep understanding, look, this is about the players.
Tracy, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, talk a little bit about your bigs, the development of both Jalen Hill, Cody Riley, and Ken. Originally, you said I think I heard that Cody might have come back, needed to maybe get in a little bit better shape, possibly. Yeah, just give us a rundown on where those guys are right now.
Well, Cody was dominating. He got in shape. Then he had an ankle deal, so we shut him down. We've been, you know, with anybody that's had any minor injury, we've tried to be overprotective of them. You know, it was such a long preseason, you know, getting to November 25th. But, you know, now he's been back for, I don't know, 4 or 5 days. So we had a scrimmage this morning. He played great. You know, he's almost back to 100% with his conditioning. But he had gotten there before. Before that, you know, Jalen Hill's always in great shape. Never have to worry about his conditioning. He's a great athlete. And he takes care of his body. And with Kenny, it's just a matter of just trying to get him some experience, you know, and keep him. He's you know, he doesn't want to let his team down. He's one of those guys, you know, if he misses a layup, you know, you just got to tell him next play, just go down there and get a rebound, block a shot, keep it simple. It'll be baby steps for Kenny, but he's a big, strong guy, and it's going to be an advantage to have him.
Ben, go ahead.
Especially without Alex to wrap that up. You know, Alex was always a guy we could use. You know, with losing Alex, you know, he at least gives us one other big guy.
I'm just curious, are you going to have the infrastructure in place to be able to test teams the day they come to Pauley to make sure they're okay, or will they handle that before they leave?
I think they got to do both, Ben, but I'm really the wrong guy to ask about that, to be honest with you. But my understanding is the NCAA rules 3 times a week and game day. So we do have the capacity to test everybody here, our officials, as well as, you know, the timekeeper. In my understanding, it'll be everybody that walks into Pauley, or you're not going to get in. My understanding. I did well in school, but not well enough to be in charge of that type of stuff, man. So, but I do know for sure officials, opponents, the team, you know, that'll all be a game day thing for sure. But there's also NCAA minimums of 3.
And then you mentioned, you alluded to that, no top seeds in the West. If the tournament's all in Indy, how do you think that will impact everybody?
Just hope we're in it, man. I hope we're in it too, you know, and I hope it happens. Tough to say how it impacts, you know, because you don't know if there'll be fans or not by then. You know, I hold out hope that with the changes in our country that are going on, whether it's political or whether it's with the stuff we're all reading about, the possible vaccines distribution, that, you hold out hope for our country that there'll be a chance that our country could get to a point where we would have a chance to have fans at those sites in Indianapolis. Again, that would, it'd be bad for the guys. If you get to that point, you would hope that we can get, our band, the cheerleaders, some fans into those games. For us, it's tough because we caught such momentum with our fan base last year, Ben. Our students were really coming out. Pauley Pavilion was on fire. It was a neat time for me, my first year, to see that happen and experience that. So it's going to be tough. Like today we had our blue gold scrimmage, which last year was open to the public for free. And I just wish we could have had that tonight instead of this morning. And, I had it open to the public. So that was really the first time it really hit me. We were in Pauley. Today was, we practice in Mo Austin. So we were in Pauley today we had the arena set up like we would for a game.
Any final questions here for Coach?
Wake up, Rick. See you up there, man.
Rick's got a question. Go ahead, Rick.
Going into your second year, you're 8 days away from opening day. How do you feel about your team?
Well, you're never, I think if you're too giddy about it, you're not gonna have your edge. You wonder all the things you're working on in practice. What's going to happen when you play a team like San Diego State, who's so well coached, from my friend Brian Dutcher, defensively? I keep telling my guys it's not going to be that easy to score. It's not, they're as good defensively from a trained standpoint as anybody you'll face. They've proven that over the years. So paranoid about being able to get a basket in a half court against San Diego State. So a lot of it's our, anxiety of how's it going to all look when we're playing somebody else. How's it all going to look because that somebody else is an elite defensive, tough-minded, cultured program. But hey, you might as well find out the truth, because then you can get better. So that I think my anxiety, that's just, there's always the unknown of, but it's time though. You got to play. Look, it's, so it's almost surreal though with all this is going on. It's like, we actually going to play a game, so knock on wood, we just, get to game night and get the most unusual season in our lives started, right?
Yeah, one of the people that you worked with, Rick Pitino, was tweeting up a storm over the weekend about trying to cancel the beginning of the season. What do you feel about that?
Well, we're very close, so I'm on him because he's the guy to tell me, that, and he's right about this, is social media doesn't matter. The amount of time that young people wasted their lives on social media. Now my man's tweeting. So I think, I know, we're very close. So I could tell you this about Coach, he's very optimistic about things changing by January, where I'm not. I think his thought process is different. It's that we'll be vaccinated and we'll be able, it'll just be safer. So just push it all back. And I would be with him if I thought that was realistic. I don't see where anything is going to be different in January. We're going to have to get it in, so we might as well start now so you got more time for delays. And that's what our football conference is up against, right? They don't have time for makeups. So, for me, I wish I was wrong on this. I hope I am, that by January there's vaccines and COVID starts to go away, but I don't think it's realistic. So I think it's better we just get started. The delays are going to happen, and the kids, because all I care about, Rick, is to me, the kids need to get as many games as possible. The way I look at this is it's not fair to you push things back and then we only play 10 or 12 games, and then the NCAA gets to have their tournament and get all their money, but the kids get their season, they get cheated on out of a lot of games. So that's what our best chance to get the players more games is to start now. So that's why my opinion is that for them. because there's going to be a tournament no matter what. There's going to be an NCAA tournament for a billion reasons. So,
All
but that's
right.
that's not enough for the kids. You know, Chris Smith and like all these, they deserve us to try to get as many games as possible in, and to do that, we got to start now. But that's not the way. We're still best of friends. Trust me, Rick. Coach, but we disagree on a lot of things. So it's okay. Mainly his handicap, as much as he plays golf. We disagree mostly on his handicap.
All right, Coach. Thank you very much. We'll let you go.
You got it, guys. Good seeing everybody.